So to leave off with a quote from what Sherry was just discussing about that robots are simply just not heroes, and there's some things that humans have to do that robots just cannot. John Lodgson wrote about something that President Eisenhower's national security stated, which was, to the layman, manned space exploration will represent the true conquest of outer space. No unmanned experiment can substitute for manned exploration in its psychological effect on the people of the world. There is just no way that sending a robot into space will lead to the same results as sending a human into space. So to begin with, Devin discussed that when we were sending man to the moon, we first began with sending robots into space to make sure that it was safe for humans. But as I discussed when I was in my first section of the debate, that we expected the moon to have a completely different surface than what it ended up having because of the pictures that we took from the Earth's telescopes and the robotic spacecraft that was sent into space. So we were expecting something completely different. What if the environment that we were sending humans into wasn't safe like we were expecting? My second point would be that one thing that she also said was that sending robots into space will also enable humans to live on other planets. But how would we do that without the presence of humans and knowing how we react with a certain environments when we're just sending robots, and that's definitely not the same as humans. James also discussed the advantages of sending robots into space, which was that robots can do certain things instantaneously when people are here on Earth with the teleoperation and different things that's happening with that. But that is just not true. Time delay is a huge issue. Francis Lakey discusses that time delay is a huge issue. Distances in space are so vast, immediate response is impossible. And Aldo Spadoni goes on to discuss this same point, that teleoperation technology is limited by the speed of light in communication, latency resulting from large distances. In order for us to communicate with Mars, it would take about 21 minutes for whatever robotic operation that's up there to be able to do the same things that we're directing it to do from Earth. There have also been a lot of failures in robotic operation. They have more than quadrupled the success rates for unmanned missions. So we are just not ready to send robots into space because they aren't programmed to do the things that we want them to do yet. Our technology is not ready to take on this type of innovation. Robots also cannot predict the unexpected, which we've discussed that they are more precise than humans, which was something that Devin had stated. According to Francis Lakey, an unmanned probe cannot be redesigned to observe the unexpected phenomena from a distant planet. Robots gather data, but conducting science experiments requires scientists. There's just no way that they can be as flexible as human beings, even if we're controlling them from down here, because it will take them a lot of time before they can do anything that we need them to. Humans are much more efficient than rovers, which was something that they were trying to say that they aren't. According to Ian Crawford, according to Steve Squires, a principal investigator for Mars exploration rovers, the unfortunate truth is that most things our rovers can do in a perfect sol, which is a Martian day, a human can do in less than a minute, so we are much more efficient. Ian Crawford also goes on to discuss that 35.7 kilometers was traversed in 3 days on the Apollo 17 astronauts in December of 1972, but only 34.4 kilometers, which is pretty similar, was traversed by Mars exploration rover in 8 years. That is a huge difference. So she was discussing that humans can only stay in space for about a year, while exploration rovers can stay for about 15, but that's because we can accomplish much more, not just because it's unsafe. We can do more than that rover can do in 15 years. So humans are just much more efficient than robots are.